Ever stared at a picture of a woolly mammoth and wondered, how on earth did our ancestors, armed with just sticks and stones, take down a beast the size of a bus? It seems impossible, right? These weren't just big animals. They were the giants of the Ice Age mammoths. Woolly rhinos, giant sloths. Yet, our ancestors not only survived alongside them, they thrived by hunting them. Today, we are diving deep into the past to uncover the incredible strategies and sheer bravery that allowed the first human hunters to conquer these prehistoric titans. Let's set the scene. It's the Pleistocene. The world is a vast, cold landscape of ice and tundra. For early humans, every day was a battle for survival. Caloris were king, and the biggest prize on the menu was a multi-ton mammoth. A single successful hunt could feed a clan for weeks, providing not just meat, but also fur for warmth, bones for tools and shelters, and fat for fuel. The stakes couldn't have been higher, but going head-to-head with a mammoth was a suicide mission. So, how did they do it? The answer lies in two of humanity's greatest superpowers: our brains and our ability to work together. The first key was intelligence. Early hunters were master trackers and ecologists. They understood their prey intimately. They knew their migration routes, their watering holes, and their behavior. They could read the landscape like a map, predicting where a herd would be and when. They observed that even the biggest animals had weaknesses. A mammoth might be powerful, but it's clumsy in a bog. A giant bison might be fast, but it can be driven off a cliff. This wasn't about brute force. It was a chess match, and our ancestors were grandmasters. They used the environment itself as their most powerful weapon, and they never hunted alone. Teamwork was the absolute cornerstone of their success. Imagine a coordinated group, maybe painted to 30 individuals, each with a specific role. You'd have the scouts tracking the herd from a safe distance, communicating with hand signals. Then, the drivers, whose job was to create chaos and panic. They'd use fire, loud noises, and sudden movements to spook the herd and separate a target from the group. Usually a younger, older, or weaker individual. Their goal was to steer this panicked animal towards a pre-selected trap. These traps were ingenious. Sometimes it was a natural feature, like a narrow ravine, a swamp, or a steep cliff edge. Archaeologists have found massive kill sites, like the one in La Côte de Brelade in Jersey, where mammoths and woolly rhinos were driven off cliffs over thousands of years. The sheer number of bones at these sites shows just how effective this brutal but brilliant strategy was. In other cases, they might dig huge pits, camouflaged with branches and leaves, directly in the path of the stampeding animal. The animal would fall in, becoming trapped and vulnerable. Once the giant was isolated and immobilized, the final phase began. This was the most dangerous part. Hunters would move in with their primary weapons, spears. Now, these weren't just sharpened sticks. Early humans developed incredible technology. The atlatol, or spear thrower, was a game. It acted as an extension of the arm, allowing a hunter to launch a spear with much greater force, speed, and distance. This meant they could strike from a safer range, piercing the thick hides of these The spear points themselves were marvels of engineering, crafted from razor-sharp flint that could cause deep, debilitating wounds. The goal wasn't always an instant kill. Often, it was a battle of attrition. The hunters would wound the animal and then track it, sometimes for days, waiting for it to weaken from blood loss and exhaustion. This required incredible endurance and patience. It was a relentless pursuit. Once the animal finally collapsed, the clan would descend upon it. The work wasn't over. Butchering a 10-ton mammoth with stone tools was a monumental task that required the entire community's effort. Every part of the animal was used. Nothing went to waste. This process wasn't just about food. It was a deeply social and cultural event. These hunts forged bonds, established hierarchies, and were likely accompanied by rituals and storytelling. The success of a hunt was the success of the entire tribe. The stories of these great hunts would have been passed down through generations, teaching the next generation of hunters the skills and courage they needed to survive. These weren't just hunting parties. They were the foundation of human society. So, when you think of our early ancestors, don't Picture simple cavemen. Pictured brilliant strategists, patient trackers, and courageous team players. They were engineers who designed deadly weapons and psychologists who understood the minds of giant beasts. They used their intelligence and cooperation to overcome their physical limitations and rise to the top of the food chain. They didn't just survive the Ice Age. They conquered it, one giant at a time, and that incredible legacy of ingenuity and teamwork is still written in our DNA today. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this fascinating, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more deep dives into our incredible past. Let me know in the comments which Ice Age giant you find the most impressive. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.